All righty. Good evening. It is a Friday, Sip and Chat Friday. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us on the last working Friday of 2021. Um, it's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. We got our sip and chat. I didn't, Doc, what you got? What you sipping on? I didn't get a chance to fill my cup.
Are you going to fill your cup or?
I am because like the green room situation, like it got
Okay.
it got it got aggressive fast, so I didn't get a chance to step away to be like, okay, let me make sure my cup is right.
Okay. I have water,
Oh, well, then
and
I'm filling. Oh,
you get what? You get ready to drink some water.
I mean, if you was doing H2O, we already know the other person and their health standards.
Right.
I was about to join you, but okay.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. I have a
Mhm.
glass of Bordeaux.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bordeaux on this Friday evening.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Get a
So
little fancy over here.
get a little fancy on this last working Friday of the year. So yes, I'm gonna
Hmm.
have to figure out what kind of Bordeaux match I got going on over here with
Okay.
H2O.
All right. Because I
So
was going to
Daryl,
tell y'all, I'm not going to be the only one sipping tonight.
it's the last Friday of the year. We gotta work it out. We
Yes,
gotta work it out.
for sure.
And I guess I'm the only other viable source that can join you. So
Yes.
actually, I got a spicy option. I gotta see what it tastes like though.
Hmm.
I'll let you know when I get it. Well, my face
Okay.
might let you know too. So as usual, our lovely Daryl is always on the move in these
Hmm.
COVID streets. Daryl, how you doing?
Uh, I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. We happy
See,
to have you. So do you have any libation liquids in your car while you're
I have some
traveling?
green tea. I have some green tea.
As
Green tea is
usual.
always with me.
Apparently, you must have stock in green tea.
I need to.
You need to work that out. You need to put that on your Apple's fruits and vegetables phone to-do list so that you can remember
You know
to work
what?
that out.
I'm going to do that.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. So if you are joining us this evening, hey family plus one, Ruth.
Hey. Hey, Neil.
I thought Daryl was about to say hey Neil.
Me and her not talking after last week.
Oh,
She's
you
on
know what?
punishment.
You put on punishment.
she's on she's on punishment.
That's hilarious. Ruth is not on punishment. Um, so it is the last working Friday of the year, and I guess it's the last sip and chat Friday for the year of 2021 as well, because we have to honor the way the calendar has aligned us for the holiday. So tonight should be spicy and interesting for sure. As we jump in, we're not gonna really jump right now, but as we jump into our evening conversation. So as usual, let's start with some
Mhm.
current events. What we got?
Um, did you see this story? I think this happened either today or yesterday. The a young woman was jumped by a guy and a girl in Jenkintown.
Mm,
They think that all three parties were from Philly. The first thing I read said that it was after a car accident, but when I looked at the video, it looked like they were both parked. So I
mm,
don't know, but they beat this young woman unconscious, like in her car, pulled her out of her car until
mm,
she was no longer moving.
hmm.
And the first thing that crossed my mind, of course, is somebody videoed this and didn't help.
Right.
So the second thing was, why the heck is a man in a girl fight? I mean, because the first thing that you see is the girl that's with him jump on the girl and start fighting her. Why did he need to get involved?
Right.
Like, what is up with you that you feel like you need to jump in the middle of a girl fight? So that I was like, this is so crazy. So the
Right.
young lady was in the hospital. of course.
Right.
And they can't find the couple. They found their truck with no license plate on it. But so I'm wondering if that was stolen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they have not found this man and woman that did this. It
Wow.
just reminds me of, all the stories that you hear about, if somebody rear ends you, you
Mm-hmm.
might not want to stop and try to talk about it. You
Mm-hmm.
might want to go ahead about your business.
Right.
you know,
Right.
maybe drive to a police station
Mm-hmm.
or a fire station or something else and not, confront people out in the street by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
especially if hitting you is a tactic for something else.
Right.
So you
Right.
have to be very careful.
And usually around this time of the year, that whole hitting somebody as a tactic for something else is like high.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people will bump you or have something to cause you to need to move over in traffic so that you can now have to get out the car and whatever else is going to happen, kind of next.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's I know if you get hit, you want to get the person's information and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes you might just want to let that go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Take some
Depending,
pictures and keep it
yeah, take some
moving.
pictures. Yes,
I know if
yes.
you're in I'm gonna say Philadelphia, they have that 311 number that you're not
Mm-hmm.
calling 911, but you can call 311 and get some of the same support or send support out to wherever
Mm-hmm.
something is happening.
Mm-hmm. Just got to be careful, you know. And if your spidey senses are tingling, listen to them.
Right, right.
Mhm. A lot
So
of times we ignore that.
we do.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
We're
Kim, how
great.
you
Hi,
How are
doing?
you?
I'm
Guess
doing
who's gonna jump?
good.
Who's gonna jump in, huh? Who's gonna jump in?
Is that Daryl?
That is
Yes,
Daryl. Yes, yes. He is on the
on the
road.
road.
Yes, he's on the
Nice.
road. You know how he does. What's
Hmm.
that laugh, Daryl?
I just chuckled. I didn't.
Hey, Ruth.
It's just a chuckle. Hello, hello, everyone. Again,
So can't we know you might be sipping something healthy.
I'm not. I just had some water, so
Right, right, right.
that's it.
And then Doc was sharing our first current event. I don't know. I'm sure you always come with a wealth of information and
Hmm.
support.
I don't know. My current event is kind of about money, but the dollar is decreasing in value. I mean, it's
Okay.
been decreasing, but it's really going down.
Mm-hmm.
when did
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
when did the dollar not decrease? It's based on
I
nothing.
know, right? It's been decreasing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember going overseas and trying to exchange my money back. I was like, I might as well just keep this money. I don't even need the dollar because this is worth more than
Mm-hmm.
the dollar. So
But then
yeah,
things sometimes cost more.
Mhm.
yeah.
$8,000 for a soda.
Well, how much you say? 8 or 10? Did I hear right? $8,000
He
for a
said
soda.
$8,000 for a
Yes, he
soda.
did.
Yeah,
They've been then they also been saying since the numbers are going back up, we need to be stacking up on soap and toilet tissue and stuff of that nature. I'm not doing that. I already bought the
Mm-mm.
big. I already bought toilet tissue in bulk because the size of my family.
so
I'm
you're
good.
already
Mm-hmm.
so you're already doing it. You said you're not doing it, but you're doing it.
Yeah, just because of the size. I got 3 kids and boys, so you gotta have enough toilet tissue.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Mm-mm.
Not
I
saying
buy
girls are
in bulk
gross, but
because
boys
I
are
don't like
gross.
going shopping. I
Mhm.
just like to get all of the shopping things that are, non-perishable, just and stock it so I don't have to worry about it for a while.
I did redo my BJ's membership for $25. I wasn't
Okay.
paying the 55 of the 110.
Right, 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 right. So the,
No,
so the I'm sorry, I don't want to cut anybody off. Was that your current event? Um, you know,
I'm good.
okay. The current event that I was thinking of or heard about today was the Travis Hunter story. in regards to him being the number one football pick, and he has selected to go to a HBCU
Yes.
versus a PWI, and like
Hmm.
all of the things that I guess that communicates and means. I don't know. I wish you all
It means
spoke.
white people mad,
They are very mad.
but who cares?
I mean, we stopped
Obviously,
caring.
I love the
obviously,
story.
obviously they care.
Well, they care because of money
Well, again,
and
because you have
internalized slavery that still
well,
exists in
that exactly
2021.
because now the buck has not come to the plantation, which is it's a major problem because it actually is taking money out of their mouths, right? Because if other people start following suit, then what these schools are run off of may not be able to do what they do anymore if you don't have the quality athlete coming there. So athletes start going to HBCUs. Um, that's really bad for these big schools. That there's a couple schools that kind of where everybody goes to, maybe 5 or 6, whatever it is, that people kind of
Mhm.
go to. But they start choosing to go to HBCUs, then these schools won't be as dominant as they were.
Mhm.
And HBCUs can start to, you know, compete on that level.
I like
Shout out to the HBCUs.
No,
white
this is the
people's.
real this is real
They're
big
very
for H.
fragile. They'll get over it. Um,
Well, the problem is they might not, because now what can they do? Like you said, do they block him? Do they not let him go to accept him in an NFL, Colin Kaepernick style? Because we don't want this to work in 4 years or 3 years, however long it takes for this to work.
right.
If it works, then other people gonna follow suit. So do we block this now? Do we
Mhm.
not let him become all he can be because he can actually start dismantling the system a little bit?
People might
Right.
have a voice that have melanated skin. Is that what it is that we might?
Well, who runs the NFL? And, I think it's like maybe
Ain't
It's a
I don't think
no
power struggle.
there's
no
zero black
melanated
owners.
folks.
Yeah, there's zero black owners in the leadership. Again,
Right.
why did Colin Kaepernick get back? Because they were like, we're not doing it, and we agreed not to let him back. What I mean? The owners said it's bad for our bottom line to have this black man who's talking his power stuff back. They can do it again.
He signed an
You know,
agreement though, probably too.
But
say again.
he still got paid though. Behind
Right.
closed doors, he still got his
But
money.
we don't care about being paid behind closed because representation means more. So if he was on that field speaking these things means a lot more than him not being on the field. So they
Mhm.
paid for him not to be on the field. Okay.
Hmm.
I
So
understand, but I
they
think
win.
both sides
They
matter.
win.
Just not about always being on the field. You can represent in different ways.
No,
So
again,
sometimes it takes to get behind the camera or be behind the flashy stuff or everything that's on the field to see what really matters. It's both sides.
Mhm.
no, it's
Mhm.
not both sides. His platform was being on the field. We wouldn't know about him if it wasn't for on the field. He would speak more being on the field than off the field.
No,
You
I
would see
know
him
he gets paid
every
more
you
on the
would
field,
see
but
him.
I'm
No,
saying
no,
in
I didn't say
the
being
world
paid.
wide range of being black, it's
I'm
more than
not
just that
no
matters.
no one's
So
talking
I'm
about
looking
being
at both
paid.
sides, not just
We're not
he's
talking
paid
about
more
being
being on the
paid.
field being a puppet.
Right. So you're telling me every Sunday when he's on, when they have
I'm
press
not telling you
conferences.
nothing. You're gonna think what you want to think. I just said what I said. You have your
You
opinion.
did.
I don't
So
care.
and
I
I'm
love
pointing
you,
out
girl,
once
but you have
again
your opinion.
what you
It is
said.
cool. We're
What you
here. That's
say
what we're here
doesn't
to do is
it
talk.
doesn't really
And I'm
make
not
sense
going
in
back
the
and
bigger
forth because I'm
scheme of
black just like
things.
you. Because at the end of the day,
So
it all
so you
matters.
keep but you but
Representation
you keep
matters
talking.
wherever it's at, whether you're an
It,
athlete or not.
it
So at this point,
again
Woo!
we got to
All
keep it
right,
P.
we
if
spicy
I
We
love
tonight.
your
spicy
listen
on
opinion
this
and I love
last
it
your
Friday of
ideas,
the
but it's just
year.
it
more than one
it,
side.
it
It's
doesn't
more
make
than one
it doesn't make
perspective.
sense
And I'm just not going
if
to be
your
bulldozed into
representation
thinking
if
something
people
else
know
when
it,
I agree
I
with
don't
you.
Y'all
It's
can't
not a
hear
fight.
each
talk a lot
other, and so
Right,
right
therefore the
right.
audience
right
can't hear you
just
either
just
to
because you're
even
talking a
It's
lot
not a
participate.
fight, and I'm over it.
just
But
just
Thanks.
it's
because you
not a
talk a
fight.
lot
It's a
don't
healthy
mean you're saying
conversation,
anything.
It
Cam.
is a healthy conversation, but that's not what's being put
Well,
through the
y'all, cause
screen.
y'all talking over top of each other, so it's like,
Hmm.
Right.
I just want to
And
be heard and not bombarded. I'm
and
good.
I get it. I get it. I
okay. I,
definitely get it.
right, right, right.
That's
So
all I'm saying.
if we're saying things that matter, it would be important. But so I think our platforms do matter. Your platform, if you're a football player, that's your platform. If you're not on your platform,
Exactly. It doesn't matter
you
what
don't you're
platform you have. It
you're
all
not.
matters. I agree with you. I'm just not going to go
I,
back and
I
forth
don't
about
I
something.
don't know
We're
how
saying
you
the same thing.
I don't know how you agree. We keep talking as I'm talking. So which one is it? Are
Thanks.
you ready? Are you ready now? Thank you. So
Oh,
I'm saying
oh,
your platform to me
oh.
is his platform is football. So for him to be playing football would give him a bigger platform. He'd be seen every Sunday or throughout the week through different things, and that's what they didn't want. So he's limited. And now he's reaching out other ways, but his platform would be in football. That's where he'd be the most powerful, having the most viewers. It gets so many millions of views each Sunday where he would be. So I think that they paid for him not to be there. That's all I'm saying. As far as his platform, that was his
Hmm.
platform. We saw him because he took a knee during a football game. That's how he became uh, even to everybody's consciousness about what he was talking about during a Sunday where he kneeled. He didn't say anything. He just kneeled, which shows the power of that platform that he had, which they didn't want him on. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm.
Okay.
All
So
right.
the do we have anything like Travis Hunter? It was some other stuff in the green room that I know Daryl, you wanted to share. I'm not sure if it's been conveyed so far in this conversation in
No,
regards to
kind
his
of.
decision.
It just makes, like I said, it makes another way for athletes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably athletes before that would want to go to a college that kind of represents them, but it was never looked at as like they were less than. So you don't want to go there and not mess up your shot at going. But this
Mm-hmm.
guy being number one is really saying something. Open that door for athletes now to pour into these HBCUs, which now will make them stronger teams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Um, I hope it works out for him. I hope that
Right.
his conversation, you know, his messaging in his conversation that he has whatever support it is that he needs to make it happen. Um, and I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sending a text message to something I received. So like, yeah, I think that I hope that whatever his intentions are, that he's guided in the right way so that so his message can be received in the right way. Because I think that where the gap became for, if we use the Colin Kaepernick as the platform of an example, is that people misinterpret things the wrong way and they take whatever their perception is, because you can't make somebody understand something. Their perception is going to be their reality and vice versa. So it's like, I just hope that he has the right supports around him to be clear.
So his coach, Deion Sanders, actually is, a great coach. So he's going somewhere. Deion Sanders played in the league for a long time, and I think that's also shifting the discussion as well because it's Deion Sanders, one of the greatest football players ever, right? Who's
mhm.
coaching his team and is now he's doing a lot of things with these kids outside of football too, like as far as mentoring them and talking about finance and all those things that we need, that athletes needed going in. He's doing that as well, and saying, how about if you don't make the league, what happens? So it's a lot of things I think that Deion Sanders is doing that makes his program appealing,
Right.
which helps that situation. So it's not going into some. I don't think they're going there uh, without, like you said, good without guidance. He's a pretty good, uh, barometer for kids to come in and learn about the league and what to happen, what to expect, and I think he's definitely pushing for grades as well, as far as because everybody's not going to the league.
Right.
So so it's a very good program for young men. Period.
Hmm.
Okay. So is there any other current events that we want to cover before we dive into our conversation this evening?
Can't think of any that's outside of the normal bad stuff that's happening.
That's our goal, to try to avoid that for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yes.
For the New Year's, let's try to find one happy story to talk about.
Yes. Yes. I'd like that idea.
Right,
I wish the
right. Let's
news
find
would do that.
I wish they would do this since
right,
they get paid for it, but
Yes.
apparently,
Find one happy story each
right. Let's just find
broadcast.
he's right. There's something that we can be happy about to talk about. Something good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
So it looks like we may have lost the perspective of camp for our last show of the year.
She
And
not coming back.
it does not look like it. I just sent you a text message in regards to her thoughts.
Oh, I
Um,
don't have my phone.
so yeah, so we're gonna rock it out.
Okay. Oh.
We're gonna rock it out. And if she does catch us live or on the replay, we look forward to your feedback. We do. We do. We do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this as we wind down the year, we wanted to kind of talk about like lifestyle decisions and things that people do. And so the question comes when you are, regulating relationships and so forth. I'm sorry. When you are regulating relationships and so forth, how do you look at the effect or the impact of those around you? But then also, how do you look at how it impacts your sex life, your
Mm-hmm.
productive or non-productive, decisions that it is that you make?
Okay. First of all, do we even? I think a lot of times when we talk about our sex lives and how they intersect with everything else in our lives, I don't think we really think about it a lot. Which I
That's
notice
a
when I'm
great
talking to
place to start.
couples.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it's a topic of it's not a topic of conversation oftentimes in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's because we don't think about it individually.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think about the things that we do on a daily basis that could either make us have a healthier sex life or things that could make it unhealthy or make it not as good as it could be.
Mm-hmm. I think you bring up a very good point, because I also see it in working with couples as well, that when pointing out all of the things that define or develop like intimacy and relationships, and not having arguments or conflict, even though those things conflict can be good,
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm.
people don't see all of the stuff that measures up to it. And so when we've had memes in our relationship flow group where it's been like, okay, well, no, you're not getting any of the
Mm-hmm.
goodies. And people look at just that.
Mm-hmm.
They might be on this panel, but they look at just that, and then and then
Oh, that's not true.
it's not true, but it seems like the pot is stirred true, so I'm not sure.
Nah,
Um,
that's another show. That's another show.
okay, all right. But it's so many things that creates. I love the fact that you use the word intersect, Doc, because
Mm.
it's just so key when you think about, um, am I happy? Am I doing what's right? People think of sex as something totally separate and on a
Mhm.
platter island by itself,
Yes.
and that has
Yes.
no conductors or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So true. Which
Mm-hmm.
is why when you point out, like, is there some other things going on in the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And the couple may say yes. I'm like, well, that may have something to do with why your sex life is the
Sex
way
is
that it
bad.
is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And they usually throw themselves back on the couch or the chair, like, okay, tell me more.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes they'll say, that's not true.
Right.
And
Hmm.
and how about the opposite where they feel like sex can fix the relationship?
Yes,
Well,
that happens as well.
yeah. The reason
Oh,
I'm pausing it as a yes and a no is because there are some situations where a makeup sex session can intersect in life, and work out well. And that actually
so
may
Hmm.
my
be
my
a different
what
show
do
or
we
conversation, but
real, Well, I have a question about what do we mean makeup sex?
I mean,
And I guess so. Let me frame a little bit. So makeup sex is after the argument is over, we're having sex, or during the argument we have sex and things are better afterwards.
well, things are always better afterwards, but there's a sign
Wait,
of relief.
wait. You said things are better afterwards?
And I said things are not always better
Oh,
afterwards.
exactly. Right. Exactly. But is
Mhm.
there a sign of relief too? Because after you finish your act, you could feel the same way you felt before.
Mhm.
Like after I'm done, I'm like, oh, I still don't like you.
But
Like the
then,
sex doesn't. Go ahead.
but the other aspect is after we had this wonderful chandelier moment, now I could be present to have a different conversation with you about whatever was bringing us conflict.
But is
Mhm.
that true? Because I don't care how wonderful the situation was. That doesn't. Some after I finish, I can go back to the same feelings I had. That sex was just a brief intermission, but the problem is still there. It may not have softened it at all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Do we
I
do we
mean,
do we think sex is really changing that that situation? Are our feelings enough to now we can talk about it differently?
it
I
depends
think
on,
in some case it depends on the couple.
yeah.
I mean, I know of
Right, right,
couples who
right.
uses that moment, who uses that moment as a way to soften the discussion. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they will have sex and in some instances
Yo, what
start
about
the discussion during the sexual encounter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
so?
that, oh, I love you so much. I didn't mean to do that or say
Mm-hmm.
that. And it does soften it for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
But that's
sometimes
not
Doesn't
everyone.
that
that's
lead
not
to
everyone, and that's
right?
probably less than half.
Less than. Yeah. I'm about to say, well, yeah, wow, because woo, then I'm just arguing to argue so I got sex.
You know what?
You know what? I'm mad at work today. Hey, let's have sex.
Mm-mm-mm. But work conflict can bring conflict in the home. And so then your lifestyle around work can be impacting like the way you do decisions, the way you work extended hours,
Right,
the way
right, right, right.
you function around taking
Mhm.
certain projects, especially if you are like an innovative person that um is like an entrepreneur, and say you haven't, maybe you've had several entrepreneur ideas, and your partner is like, listen, the last three ideas didn't work, what's different about this one? And so then therefore there's an intersection in your relationship that you need to clarify or be inclusive to your partner of what's going to happen in the next month, 3 months, what with this goal, and how is it going to impact life. So then that way, whatever your business venture or change up is, it's not becoming the source of disagreement and conflict.
Right. Because if you don't do that, and this is the third time, and your partner is like, I can't believe this stupid so and so. Every time
Mhm.
Wow,
every time I turn
wow.
around, they can't get this thing done. I'm so sick of it.
Mhm.
And not having that discussion and
Mhm.
letting that build up, of course it's gonna affect your sex life. It's like, I
Mhm.
don't even want you to touch me, dummy.
Right. Go touch your
Well,
business. Go touch your
well.
little
First of
new
all,
hobby.
wait. First of all, let's talk about you're calling him stupid and dummy. We have other issues before we get to everything else. Okay, I'm just saying it's a little three to back up.
Mhm. So you said engineer backwards and call me by my name.
Right. Let's slow down. I know I messed up a couple
Oh
times.
gosh.
I still love
That's
you.
I'm laughing down because I have had that same discussion. But these are the things that people might say and feel.
Right. And when they get caught up in their Jasmine Sullivan feelings, they began to communicate how they feel and not realizing that these feelings are valid, but they are influencing the conversation in a different direction that's non-productive to us having
Mhm.
a better
Right,
outcome.
right.
Yes.
because once I hear
Yes.
stupid dummy, then now I'm on.
Yeah, you
I
to shift the gears.
Yes.
Yeah, now we can't have a productive conversation because I have some things I'm responding to that.
Yeah, I
You
got you
know,
stupid and dummy.
right?
Uh-huh.
Stupid and
And guess
dummy
Mhm.
what?
bought you them expensive shoes, or
Right.
stupid and dummy took you to some exotic global vacation. I wasn't stupid and dumb then. You
Or
know,
the stupid and dummy can now make you like you're not getting any now, right? You won't be getting any of stupid and dummy,
Mhm.
which
yep.
now
Mhm.
impacts your sex
Stupid and dummy
life.
about to be
Of
dry.
course, you and you
Right.
get into that
Right.
a cycle of he
Right.
stupid dummy not having sex. The other person doesn't want to have sex. Stupid dummy
Mhm.
doesn't want don't want to have sex.
Right.
Yeah, you get into a cycle.
Right. And
I want to
everybody,
hang from the chandelier. They don't want to hang from the chandelier.
right? Everybody, hard and wet by themselves.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
Mhm.
whoa, whoa. So wow, you can see how that can spiral out of control that quickly over a
Yes.
Yeah, because you
disagreement.
was on pause. You was like,
Right.
wait, no, we can't go no further. Did you say stupid and dummy?
Right.
Mhm.
That would rate there. We can't have a conversation after that for me. So I
Mhm.
can't take that type of talk because that right there is a non-negotiable. We can't effectively communicate by name calling.
I'm glad you said that. That's a non-negotiable
Yeah, that
because,
Mhm.
is.
and I'm
That's a
sure Mary knows this. I mean, one of the things we run into a lot is people not even knowing what their non-negotiables are until they
right,
happen.
right, right,
You
Right.
right, right,
know,
right, right,
and
right.
then as a therapist, I have to watch myself too because my non-negotiables may not be the same as the people I'm sitting in front of.
Right.
If
Right.
stupid
And
Okay.
dummy, if
they be
stupid dummy works for y'all and that be and this and that,
Mhm.
who am I to say, hey, I think that's very disrespectful.
Right.
could could that work?
And
Could
but
that
you know,
work?
it
I'm
is it
sorry. Could that work?
can what
What?
work?
Stupid dummy.
For some people, yes.
Some
But
people.
is it
Who have
really?
sat in my office, it could be their love language, which is what I was about to say. Is I'm
Mm-hmm.
like in not judging how people
Mm-hmm.
talk to each other that may be different than what I would expect in my castle.
Mm-hmm.
I say, okay, well, help me understand. Is this the way you all talk, and is it your love language? Is it how you resolve like everything that goes on, and is it working for you?
Mm.
Well, but even what does working look like? I mean, stupid dummy comes with something in return, which you're gonna up that to something in return, and now you got ice on your eye, and you know, like where
Daryl.
does it stop? No, I'm saying, how can you keep disrespecting? I think it's, and again, like you said, it might not be, so I can't see it outside of being disrespectful, but disrespect rises, right? If we're going back and forth, and I don't know where that ends. Like, do you have like, well, I'm not gonna go past you bitch ass motherfucker. I'm gonna stop there, but I'm not gonna say like, how do you police that where it doesn't continue to rise? Because at that point, I think we're saying stupid dummy. The argument is about not whatever we intended it to. Is about the names you just called me. So we're losing focus. I'm just saying for me, but you got so I don't
Right.
understand how it
Right.
can
But
be.
that for somebody else, that stupid dummy may just go ahead, go past them because it's not a big deal.
And
Gotcha.
you have to think about too, Daryl, that what Doc and I are saying is that every person, every couple that sits in our space for support, we have to kind of assume what their values are, not assume them for how we're going to act once we get out of this session, but in order to help them resolve how their lifestyle is impacting their sex life, we have to understand like what their value system is, what's their blueprint, what is it that like matters most to them, and then function within that. Now sometimes it could be that we have to educate them
Mm-hmm.
to change their wording or change their
Mm-hmm.
perspective, but we have to
Mm-hmm.
first understand how they understand communicating with each other because we're the outsider looking in.
Mm-hmm. And I like that you said, uh, we have to find out from them
Mhm.
what it is because if stupid dummy is fine or B is fine,
Mhm.
and I'm like, hey, that's not the correct way to talk to your partner. And they're like, you shut up, B.
Right. Now you to be.
Now you
You
right.
about to swipe our card, but you to be. Like you to be right now.
But you're right. Some people, we have to educate them. And I think one of the important questions is, does this work for you? Now, if you're like Daryl and stupid dummy is causing uh all kinds of feelings and things
Right,
and
right.
emotions inside of you, then it is a problem.
And we
Yes.
got to engineer backwards to figure out where
Yes.
that problem started
Yes.
from
Yes.
and how we can resolve that before we can even begin to look at what the intersection of your sex life is and how it's
Absolutely.
impacting you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because if you've been called stupid dummy 10 times and now you don't want to have sex, okay. That language is impacting the relationship.
It's making my penis dry.
You know.
But if you hear stupid dummy and it makes you hot, that's a whole
nother fire flame. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Hey, am I being stupid today? I feel like I'm being stupid.
Yeah, I knew a couple. I didn't work with them, but I knew a couple, and they were young, who thought that physical violence, was
I'm going to
a
get
sign of love. Go ahead. Was a sign that love was blooming. And
Wow.
it stemmed from, I believe how the young lady was raised, but I mean, she would initiate fights,
Right.
like get in his face, smack him, and all that kind of to get him to prove his love.
With an uppercut?
That's not necessarily an uppercut all the time.
A wheel kick? Like what? How did he prove it? Like
by smacking her back.
There you go. Like what do you? And then they would have. Would that lead to sex?
Then they would have sex. Then they would have sex.
Sex and ice packs, huh? seems like a great night to me.
Well, if you're an athlete, sometimes it could be sex and ice packs.
Yeah, but I get that, but I just don't get uppercut and doggy style. They don't really go together.
All hits don't have to be an uppercut.
Right.
Well, she want to get smacked. So I mean, smacks. Open fist.
I mean, for her, that showed that he actually cared.
Wow, that's crazy. So you got to work through those feelings before you get anywhere, right?
Yes.
Right.
Because when he was ignoring her attacks, it felt like he didn't care about her.
Right.
So it's almost a rejection. He rejected her by
exactly
bringing the uppercut.
Okay.
Yes. Can we not say uppercut?
He's talking about this uppercut.
I mean, well, whatever physical response she wanted in response to her onslaught.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because that also happens in more aggressive sexual interactions where can I finish? People start doing the whole choking thing and like other situations, like that becomes, thrilling for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Does it?
For those who have that lifestyle, Daryl, yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the smack on the butt, the whips and the chains, and for some people, pleasure is pain is pleasure.
Backwards, back and missionary.
See, you could deal with that. You could deal with it that way.
All type of combinations. Oh, man.
All type of combinations.
So one of the things that I thought was interesting that I saw about a unhealthy lifestyle that could interfere in your sex life is if you're like a junk food junkie.
Yes.
Junk food, and they talked about like candy and stuff.
Like like lots of carbs and sugars and processed foods.
But is that really true? Because
Well,
before,
it says that those things increase your cholesterol, decreases blood flow. I mean, that makes sense to me.
well, I'm
Absolutely. If
thinking
your
about
blood flow is
every.
decreased, then you're not getting hard
But
or
what I would think
stimulated.
about it is most of these inner cities where there are no grocery stores, there are no good, there's not a lot of healthy decisions where you're eating 4 rings fried rice every night, but there's 19 kids per household. Like, where's the
You
decrease?
you only need 3-4 minutes. You only need a good 3-4 minutes.
Right. And it doesn't mean that it's healthy. I mean,
What
it
what
could be still
what?
affecting their sex life negatively, but that's
How?
what all they know. So they don't realize that you could last longer if you had a healthier diet,
Right.
or you could have more,
What?
I don't know, more
Like more energy, more
yes, more
more
energy.
flexibility, less
Yes.
muscle
I
cramps.
like I said, I don't know. I even I don't know. I don't know what that would. I don't know.
You put you
Many people don't have a great diet, just period, right? Most of
Mm,
America is not the best diet having place in the world, right?
very
But
true.
I don't see it slowing anybody down or people not going as long. You know what I mean? I just don't see that. I
How
don't.
many sexual acts you watched?
I can talk about my own sexual acts. My diet wasn't always the best, and I had a lot of
But you have
and they
a
went
healthier lifestyle than most, Daryl.
now.
right.
But growing up, was 4 rings fried rice was a staple. You know what I mean? That was a staple. I thought that was a major food
Yeah,
group.
but
Four
at
rings fried rice.
16 or even 26 and you're doing that is different than at 46 when you've been doing it for 30 years.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. You know what? And I'm looking at the younger years, and I'm not looking at. Okay, so I get it now. That can make
Mhm.
sense, right? So
Right.
that's okay. Makes a lot of sense. So
So
people
that
having
that
performance
eating
problems and things of that nature later in life due to the impact of eating bad earlier and continue to eat. Okay, gotcha,
Mhm.
you worked it
gotcha.
out in your brain.
Yeah, you guys got it. I hear what you're saying because I was thinking about the younger years, the 20s, 30s. But like I said, as you get in your 40s, that's when you see people having a lot of issues, intimacy, all type of things.
Mhm.
Uh, I got it.
And in
Mhm.
these days, you don't always have to make it to 40 for it to begin showing up, but you may not pay attention to it based on other lifestyle focuses that you have going on.
Like I drank too much tonight, so that's why it don't work.
It ain't working.
I thought that was the opposite. I thought like when you drink, you can go like a Hennessy penis.
No, not alcohol.
No,
I don't think that's right for
Not
alcohol.
everybody.
gotcha. No, I know some people saying like I'm gonna go drink this and I'm gonna tear her up. Give her a Hennessy dick. I'm like, okay, I don't drink, so I don't really know if that was a thing or not.
Hennessy dick can go limp real quick.
Oh, gotcha.
Ooh, uh.
I didn't think it sounded like a good
You
night
know, because
anyway.
in their mind, their ego has been built up. Like
Exactly.
in their
That
mind, their
Hennessy
ego
made them think they could do
made them think
it.
that they was killing it, but the outcome on the other side of the moment, they didn't kill
Right.
nothing, and she's still sitting there like, okay, where my toy at? Because I need to finish myself off.
Yes. You know how alcohol can make you think you're doing things you're not really doing.
Right.
That's weird to me. I don't know. 'Cause I haven't been there yet because I haven't drank,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I was gonna say, and when is that gonna happen for you? Like,
probably never. If I get a drink right
right.
now, who knows what happened? Y'all see me on the news. I'll be
Well,
going wild. Like
we're
there it
gonna need
is.
some
Time
more.
for a
We're
drink.
gonna need some more safety precautions about things to be able to support you.
Right. I would have to be make sure it's in a safe, locked in room somewhere with no cameras.
How you gonna guarantee no cameras? You got cell phone. That's the automatic camera.
This is why I say no. I say no. At this point I'm just not. I'm just gonna go through life not knowing. It's okay.
Hmm.
This
It's
is
okay.
so
And
funny. Does your
what
co-host want
about
to comment on that?
It's okay.
Okay, moving on. Moving on. Hearing her laugh is priceless, so that just works
yes?
all together.
Mm-mm-mm. Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So Yolanda's
Yes.
sharing that based on her younger girlfriends, it is more prevalent in younger men than you think. Right, but they
What
I
have
believe it.
what is more prevalent? Oh,
their effectiveness.
gotcha,
You thinking that they're being productive in the sex life, or not even paying attention to how the intersections of what they're experiencing has an impact on their performance or their ability to just kind of be present and show up.
gotcha, gotcha,
She said ED, erectile
ED.
dysfunction.
gotcha,
Mm-hmm.
gotcha. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for them.
But then that's when the reckless conversations come in. If I'm younger and my squad is having these different stories around how successful and different things that they're doing, um, you know, I begin to question myself whether I'm comfortable to be vulnerable to talk about it in front of my friends. I know that my significant other is having concerns about either longevity or flexibility, my ideas of being available to, like, just be productive.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that in the younger guys, I think they tend more to make up excuses for it,
Mm-hmm.
and blame it on something else.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Blame it on
tired. I got working
something.
hours.
Yeah, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Blame it on something that's not so bad.
So
Mm-hmm.
when you were younger, what excuses did the guys use? Not you guys, but I mean people y'all know.
Mary just said that I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I worked a long day, week, month.
My money ain't right. I gotta pay all these bills. I gotta figure that out. My mind is somewhere
Mhm,
different. Like, I can't
mhm,
focus. And then you
mhm.
want me to what? Yeah, I
It
can't.
was the Henny.
It was the Henny. Right, right, right.
Uh-huh.
This
Yes.
never happens.
This never happens. Yes.
Right.
This is the
Hilarious.
first time.
Yes, it's the first. Oh my God,
It's
that
the
is one of
first
the things.
time.
This is the first time. It never happens. I don't know what's going on. Thank you,
Hmm.
Yolanda, because yes, that's the
Wow.
infamous response.
Yes. Yes.
Got me all riled up.
Ah,
Got me all riled up, and you talking about this never happens. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
now, is there anything the other way? Like, so men get like ED and stuff like this. Is there something women have that's kind of similar to that? Like dry bones or something?
You know what? Why he always gotta make it comical?
Always.
Oh my God.
I'm
Always
just,
gotta be comical.
I'm just asking. Like, bad diet leads to what for women?
Well,
Mm-mm-mm.
I mean, I don't know about the trying to think of a nicer way to say what you just said, the fluids
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
for women, but like there's no desire. There's no, and because there's no desire, there's no lubrication, or there's no
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Ruth is funny. Them bones, them dry bones. um
Mm-mm-mm.
and it comes to, sometimes a health concern that you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with can also, become your lifestyle, because you're doing everything to treat your cancer, everything to decrease the symptoms of diabetes, or everything to decrease your hydration or asthma and respiratory health, that those side effects sometimes like dehydrate your sensitivity to intimacy, or whatever. And like, you don't look at not maintaining your health on any spectrum that you may experience it also impacts, how you may show up or not show up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Very true.
here go the big one, the menopause, man.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes.
Is
Very
that why you
true.
exercise every day, Ruth?
Every day, all day long. I don't. I don't think she owns regular clothes. She in some outfit every day working out. Breakfast time outfit, lunchtime
Mm,
outfit. dinner outfit. You done
She be
worked
like,
out
I
all day
gotta get
long.
it in. I gotta get it in.
So
Mhm.
in those cases, say those cases where like your libido is low and your sex drive isn't there, um, what do you do? Do you like what at that point? How do you navigate a healthy sex lifestyle if you're just really not there? Do you contract out? Like what happens?
I think you start it's like if you feel like you're allergic to something and you start an elimination diet. I
Yes.
think it's a similar process where you start trying to figure out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You start checking yourself. Am I stressed out? Because stress, can raise your cortisol levels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Stress can, you know, kill your libido. Am I depressed? Am
Am
I
I
having
depressed?
am I having anxiety before or during sex?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the medical stuff. If it's menopause, then you may want to talk to your doctor about other ways to stimulate your libido.
Mm-hmm. And as
So it's
Yolanda said, the menopause comment is not for everybody.
right.
Like it could be the other side of things too, where you ready to hop on anything, hop and roll.
Right. You mean men are not paused? You for the streets
Yes.
now.
You for the
Yes.
streets. And they might say
Mm-mm-mm.
you got your groove back or something like that. No, he never really probably lost the groove, but you know, I'm ready to hop and roll.
Mm-hmm.
Am I just bored? What is she responding to?
She's responding to, like, for women, you ask the question, like, what are some of the responses or things
Oh,
for
gotcha.
women, and it could be, am I bored with, I mean, if
Uh-huh.
you're gonna come in the room, you're gonna go to the left, you're gonna go to the right, and then you're gonna be like,
Yes.
okay, yeah, let me lay here for a second and catch my breath, and that there's no restart, like, I'm
Uh-huh.
bored, you
Uh-huh.
pre-calculated,
Yes. Yes.
no
It's been
variation,
the
no
same thing for the past
right.
however many years.
It made me
Well,
think, like, okay, your
why don't you do
lifestyle,
something
just do
new?
your business.
Very
What'd you
interesting.
say, Daryl?
Why did she do something new?
She might not
If
be permitted.
if she
Sex is about
got you.
communication.
Right, right,
Mm-hmm.
right, right.
Sex is
Yes,
about
yes,
communication, and it
yes.
has a lot of roles that are spoken and a lot of times unspoken.
Unspoken. Yes.
And that's where they play out the most, and you be trying to figure out, okay, what is
It,
happening.
what's the
But
three?
some
Mm-hmm.
people, like it was said earlier, like missionary is probably the only position, or
Oh goodness, boring.
And if you do something new, there's questions.
yeah, you cheating.
Like, where'd you learn that?
Mhm.
I mean, is that not a realistic question? You ain't gonna just start being new out of
No,
nowhere.
That's not a
no,
realistic question.
Okay,
no.
It's
wait,
I
wait.
need a different angle of you to come in to me so that we can
Mm-hmm.
experience something different.
Yes.
Oh, got you.
And I
Make it
didn't have to learn it from somebody else.
I
from
could have read an
really,
article in Essence magazine, if that magazine even still
really.
exists.
So you read an article and you're a champ the first time out. Okay, no learning curve
Y'all
or nothing.
insecurities. So like y'all insecurities about trying new stuff is just really in the way.
I didn't say it was in the way. I just said you can't. Nobody's great at something the first time. I'm just saying you a champ the
Well,
first time
who
in the
said
game.
being great at it? We're just saying try, we want to do
I'm
something new.
I'm saying once we do it and
You
I
just
see you
went on the
great at it,
defensive.
I said you were just automatically great at it. Like this is amazing. Where you learn this at? I knew you for 7 years, never did this before. Now you a champ. So
why
growing.
not just welcome it and
Right.
enjoy?
Why you gotta question everything? And yes,
Oh,
Yolanda,
so
Cosmo
so
magazine is definitely one. I
so
learned it.
so so now we can't ask questions. Okay, we can't be open and honest with our partner and ask questions. I see. I get it. I understand. I
But
understand.
Daryl, for real, let's ask a real question though.
Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when something new is introduced, does it raise the red flag of an insecurity? Like you automatically go into a performance aspect that okay, she must have learned it somewhere else, or like it gotta be something way more drastic than can you just enter me in a different way? Because I don't know, I just want to
So
see what it feels.
because I mean, if we're being honest, if you've been with somebody for a while and you're doing this, like you said, everybody's doing the same thing, and all of a sudden you come with something new out of the blue, where'd it come from? That's just a realistic question. I'm not saying it has nothing to do. I don't know. You want to call it
I could
insecurity,
have wanted
whatever.
to try it since I was 16 and out there freak nasty in it.
That
And
listen,
now
what
I
you
just decided to have the confidence to say something because I trust
Mm-hmm.
you as my
right.
partner.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So just like you
Mm-hmm.
had always had this confidence to say it, I think someone could at some point can have the same feelings of where is this coming from? It's new. It's different. So
But why is it
anybody,
accusatory?
well, again, so if your man comes home and he start wearing perfume or cologne all of a sudden, sometimes people might have questions. Questions are, there's nothing wrong with a question, right? If something's new, you might want to ask a question about it. I don't think that should be automatically insecure or anything like that. Because now you're telling your partner, if I feel a certain way about something, I ask a question, it's a problem, right? It's just a question. And now, if it is coming from an insecure place, if it is like you don't want to believe their answers or something like that, that's different. But I think that if something new is coming about and it's different, and you ask a question about it, I don't see anything wrong with that.
All right, so I think it would depend on how you ask it.
Right, exactly.
If you're asking it in an accusatory way, like "Where'd you get that from? You must have been, whatever, whatever," as
Right,
opposed to, "Hey, okay, this is new. I never heard you talk about that."
right.
That's different.
Right. And even in her answer, you should be able to accept. If she's like, well, I was reading this magazine, like, no, you wasn't. Where you get that would be different. But if you could just
Mm.
say yes and understand where she came from, we're good.
I just don't understand why it always gotta be so
Why it has to be asked in the first place?
right. Like
Because
why
you can ask your partner anything you want. Right? That's the
Mm.
point of having a partner. I should if I feel a certain way, I should be able to ask and not fear of you feeling some type, like I said, if I ask in a way that's really inquisitive, you should be okay with that. There's nothing we should not be able to talk about. If I'm
Hmm.
asking in a way that's negative, like Doc pointed out, I agree. If it's accusatory, if it's really, that's different. But it's like, hey, where'd you get this from? Maybe I want to read the magazine too and get some new things too. I
You
don't
know
know.
you
what?
don't want to
But
read that
That's not.
magazine.
Yeah, that's not usually where that question is coming from, though.
Yeah.
see now
And
you
you're not
got so
gonna go
now
to Men's Health magazine either and figure out nothing either.
so it's just like you guys are saying the same thing, but opposite. Like you're like, oh, you ain't gonna do it. You don't know. Maybe they are. We're assuming things that we don't know. As long as the question is asked in a way that's productive for both parties, I think it's okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
That's how I feel.
That's how you feel.
That's what I'm just thinking. I don't know. I don't think we should not shut people down because we don't want people feeling like they can ask a question, right? We don't want that. But right, we don't. I don't think it should be accusatory. I get that.
So what about if your lifestyle is changing for some reason? Like you get a new job that requires travel or working at home, something like that. How do you maintain the balance around um your communication, your relationship, as well as keeping the appropriate boundaries that's going to I don't know, keep you guys moving forward. Like something has changed, like your lifestyle. Maybe you're deciding to exercise more, and your partner is like, "Yeah, I see you when you come back from the gym. I'm gonna eat these chips and pizza going on right here."
mm-hmm.
Like, what if it's that situation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it can be very tough. Change, especially if you've been doing something for a while, is really tough, right? Because you got to figure out how to navigate this new situation. Um, and if it's, I know if someone moved or had a job where they were away, that would be really difficult for me, right? If they're away for like 5 days out of the week now, I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
You
Especially if we
hear that,
couldn't talk.
co-host?
I know. I've been told.
I know you have. I know you have. I'm sorry.
This is this is not okay. This is not okay. No.
We
So
like her being present.
listen, so what happens, and if we couldn't talk a lot, that would really be a difficult situation. Like if we couldn't even converse because their job didn't allow it, that would be a very difficult for me, would be a very difficult situation.
Mm.
So outside of it being personalized, what do you think will be the general consensus of say men that are into lifestyle like you? like you work out, you jump up to the ceiling, a couple times throughout the week. Like what do you think would be the difference if your partner maybe was once working out with you and then they just maybe you have a health complication that pauses them?
What's the question?
How would you deal with it? How would how
Oh,
not
how would
necessarily
I deal with
you,
it?
not,
How would
not
I deal?
I don't want it to be you because we already know what you would say.
Oh yeah, I was like, listen.
We're not going down that route. We already know that. But a man like you who is into fitness and their
I don't.
partner was also into fitness, but say a health thing has happened or they're going through it,
Or
how would
not even a health thing. Like if they had a baby and then decided they didn't want to work out anymore.
the baby, the
Yes, the
baby,
baby.
Mm. So how
because
much?
because of all of this loving.
What's the
And they
what's
gained 50 pounds.
Oh,
Woo!
Doc, you going there? You going
Wait a
there?
minute. Are you trying to have a divorce? What are you saying here?
Really though?
What? What?
Hey, listen. I think we come in. We try to keep ourselves as close to what we came in as. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
unrealistic.
No, it's definitely not. If I look good, if I'm staying in shape, then guess what you could do? The same.
You didn't
I
just
It's not
had a
push,
unrealistic.
baby.
you didn't just push 9 pounds out of your
Right.
Listen,
You
like you
sending
can push
me
out of
nine
your
in
pounds
for
out.
body.
postpartum.
Let's talk about it. If you put on 50 pounds for a baby, that's because you was just being greedy. You don't have to put on 50 pounds for a baby. You don't. You don't. Okay. You don't. And if you do,
I'm gonna talk
and
to
if
the
you
plant. Plant, do you
and,
agree?
and yeah,
Right?
we're talking about them truths that we don't want to hear. And then after
I'm
that,
gonna talk
you still
to the plants over here too. Like what in the what?
and then after the baby comes, guess what you don't have to do? Continue to eat like you're pregnant. You could do things to absolutely because you don't get to carry a baby. Yeah, anyway, whatever. So uh
Are you
what I'm
being
saying is that
dismissive to the
no,
people?
because well, y'all being dismissive of the truth. You don't have to gain 900 pounds having a baby, nor do you have to carry that baby weight around. Afterwards, you could do some things that can help you out. And eating is really 90% of it. You don't even have to really work out. If you eat right, you will come back to close to what you were. These are facts. Like it's not we're not it's not. So if you choose to continue the way you are and continue to put on weight, that's a personal thing. That's what you want to do. I'm not in
Daryl,
agreement. I'm not in agreement with that.
Daryl.
He got
I'm not in
everybody
agreement
talking
with
to their plants.
Yes,
that. Hey, if you guys were
Daryl,
eating more
Yolanda.
plants,
That's
if
exactly where I'm about to go.
if you're
Daryl,
eating if you're eating more
Daryl,
plants, you wouldn't be in this situation. Go ahead. I'm
Daryl,
talking to eat them. Go ahead.
Daryl,
Right.
Daryl,
Right.
Daryl. Can we
I
add
hear you.
another? Can we add
Yes.
another intersection to this whole? I had a
Right.
baby and I got
Let's
50
go.
pounds.
Let's go to these. Go ahead.
After the baby,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I have this extra weight, but I
Right.
also have a new life regimen that has
Mm-hmm.
impacted the way my lifestyle was before the baby
Right.
arrived. And
Right.
it could be postpartum depression, it could be my schedule, it could be an increase of anxiety, it could be an increase of so many other things. So not only have I had our baby, I've gained 50 pounds that I'm having a difficult time getting it back off. And you hounded me about fitness. These are three intersections so far. You hounded
Mm.
me about fitness.
Woe is you. Go ahead.
And
I mean, I'm
then
hearing a lot of
depression.
excuses. Other than
It's not
postpartum,
excuses. Those are
oh,
real lifestyle
other
changes.
other than postpartum, right? Which is something that you can't really you have to work through and things of that nature. I get that. Now, what are the percentage of women that have baby that has postpartum? Okay, the rest of them. So what about the rest
Exactly,
of them?
Yolanda.
No, what again? We can go to the extremes if we want. So we're talking about the everyday woman who has a baby outside of postpartum. Guess what? It's two people who have a new schedule. Cause I don't know why we're saying we're doing it by yourself or you picked the wrong man. So he should be jumping right in, helping you out just as much. So it's two people's schedules that should be changing at this point when you have this baby. So both
Mm.
lives are impacted. So there is time and place to take care of yourself. And again, taking care of yourself could be as simple as eating clean, right? That's all you really need to do. You don't even have to work out to be in shape. Eating clean is about 85% of it. So the excuses that I'm hearing, I can't really go with, because I know if you clean eat, you both are to have this new responsibility. Because I don't know why we're saying it's like this all on her. It's two people in a relationship who are taking care of this baby now and sacrificing, and it can be done. That's the reality of the situation. If you want to do
So
it, it's different.
so let's add another intersection to your philosophy. Clean eating is not an option because of the baby's health. And because of the baby's health, there are certain things that I need to consume so that the milk and everything that the baby is consuming helps. So we got four intersections into
Okay,
the
so
lifestyle.
wait, so you're telling me that the baby needs to have, you got to eat cheeseburgers and full wings and fried
I,
rice to
I
save
didn't
this
name a
baby's
food.
life? What I'm saying is that
I did not
so
name the
so
improper food. I'm just
right,
saying that there
right.
are foods
So
that sometimes are producing of the nutrients, the superfoods, whatever, but you also have to do stuff that's going to nurture not only you, but nurture the baby.
right, and with food being, it's such a powerful thing, you're going to find whatever you need clean. There's no, I don't see anything where you can say I can't eat healthy and make the baby healthy. I just don't see that. And if it is, it'll be so obscure that that's that 1 or 2, percentage of people that would have to deal with that. They would have to deal with something on a case by case basis.
I'm not even
Again,
gonna make it. I'm not even gonna make excuses and put all these intersections in there. What if I
I wasn't
gained
making
that weight
excuses, just to
and
be
I
clear.
decided
I
okay,
wasn't
let
making
them let
excuses.
them
I
know,
don't
Mary.
want to. I don't want to work out. I'm tired from taking care of this baby all day while you're working, and I don't have time, and I don't want to make it a priority right
Nah,
now.
I just said you do not have to work out to be in shape, right? If you eat right, you will be in shape, right? We work out to make things bigger or toner or whatever the case may be. Working out is because you can work out all you want, but you can't out train a bad diet. So I can work out all day,
Mm-hmm.
not right, and you'll never see anything, right? So I believe that again, through health nutrition, you can get yourself in a decent shape, right? You would drop body fat and things of that nature. You don't have to do much. I'm saying eating a little better, but if you're still eating pizza and cheeseburgers and like I don't know why I'm gaining weight, I can tell you why, right? It's not because of anything more than the way you're eating, and I don't know how healthy that is for the baby anyway, eating that type of stuff all day long, right?
Good point, Yolanda. Yes.
No, you feel insecure because of whatever you're going through, right? If it's not because if, and I'm not really, I'm not saying anything to you, right? If you want to look that way, but if you see me working out and in shape, that may be something that you feel because of I'm in shape and maybe you're not at the time. But at the end of the day, if you're not doing anything about it, I'm confused. If you're like, well, I'm insecure and I'm gonna keep eating the way I'm eating and getting bigger, then I'm confused at that point.
I think
You
there's a
have
time frame of sensitivity that has to be created because the way that what you're saying is being received is that it has to be instantaneously and not being respectful to like the process of if I choose to work out, if I choose like how it is I choose to eat or whatever. And again, I'm not making excuses. I'm just layering
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle intersections that could actually
Mm-hmm.
be happening, especially with the perspective that you have shared.
Mm-hmm.
so for me, I know too many women who have babies and bounce right back, right? I just know too many. So my reality of what I see is I see you can do it. It's not difficult, right? We can sit here and try to make it more difficult than it is, but if you eat right, you'll be right. And I'm not
I'm
telling
not
people to go out
receiving
there.
that well.
Say again.
I'm not receiving well that the adding the intersections is making it difficult because from where I sit, I have worked with women
Mm-hmm.
that have these multiple layers and it's not an excuse, it's what
Mm-hmm.
they're experiencing in that moment and they just need their partner to be a little flexible with the time frame so that they
Mm-hmm.
can digest each thing at a time to get to wherever their new way of life is going to be.
Well, again, I'm not saying that it's going to happen. Nothing happened overnight. I don't know where that would come from. There's nothing. It took 9 months to put it on. It's going to take a while to take off. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, if you want to get back into any shape, and this is a woman's choice. What you do is your business, right? I'm going to the gym. I'm doing what I have to do for me. I'm never going to say you need to go to the gym too. right? I'm just saying that. But if you're feeling some type of way about the way things are happening or whatever the case may be, there's ways to fix it. Whether you want to fix it or not, that's a personal choice.
Hmm. But we can see how this could definitely interfere in the sex life of the couple who's going through this.
Mm-hmm. We can.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
Mm-hmm.
And food, nutrition, lifestyle changes with workout, adding new people, like, or having an entrepreneurial or changing jobs at the wrong time to maybe a career that's not lucrative, that changes the finances in the home. Like, it's so many things that impact and influence the successful sex life or intimacy
Mm-hmm.
life that as a couple we want to experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because there may be resentment from the male counterpart that because maybe we didn't save enough before this life change, be new job, whatever, that they feel like they have to work more. That's
Mm-hmm.
resentment.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes.
I have a home. I have a home, Joe. I have a home gym, Yolanda. Just letting you know. I have to go downstairs. kids, kids can come too.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Right.
Um,
I agree, Yolanda. Absolutely right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I agree with her 100%.
I'm sure she's glad after all of this banter for the last
Right.
10 minutes that you could
I,
finally agree with something
you
that
know
was
what?
shared.
I apologize for having an opinion on it. My fault. I should
No,
follow.
your
So again,
opinion. No, I don't want you to follow for sure. And I know
I
it won't happen if I wanted you to do it anyway.
right,
But
right.
like, it's just it's just in a sense of having a generalized conversation or a global conversation that's inclusive of all perspectives
Mm-hmm.
is where I think the bottleneck actually happens, that puts everything on pause, or puts everything like where it appears that it's being conflictual. And I mean, everybody's opinion is always welcome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We just have to always be mindful of being inclusive. I mean,
But
and
I
there's
think sometimes, even in being conclusive, when we start using the most extreme cases to be normal, that becomes a problem. And I think that's an issue when if we're talking about something, we're talking about general, and we're talking about we'll use loosely air quotes most. We're talking about the general or most or whatever the case may be. Then using extreme cases doesn't fit the majority, and that becomes a
Yeah.
problem as well. That definitely becomes a
Well, we
problem as
know for
well.
sure that most women gain between 30 and 50 pounds when they have a baby.
Right,
mm-hmm,
right.
We do know that for sure.
mm-hmm,
And not everyone is able to get that weight off.
because their body changes
Mm-hmm.
and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and again, we don't. No one thinks. So even for me, I don't. Once you gain weight, sometimes you'll never get back to that weight again, right? Because once you put on fat, that becomes part of your body. You can shrink it,
Mm-hmm.
but you may never get back to that. Oh, in high school I was 115. Well, you'll never get back to that, right? For the most part, I understand that, but we're not talking about a weight. We're just talking about something that looks good or feel good to whomever that person is.
Mm-hmm.
At the
But
end of the
that's
day,
also healthy in in their productive lifestyle that they are trying to continue to exist in.
Mm.
so okay.
Now, what about having a extremely busy lifestyle? That can impact the health of your sex life.
Because like, what you busy doing, or not so much what you busy doing. What are you avoiding by being so busy?
Well, say if somebody really just has a legitimate busy lifestyle where maybe say they have two businesses or something they're running and they're running back and forth. It may not be that they're doing anything but trying to get this business up and started. But by the time they get home, it's kind of you're late, you're tired, you had a long day, and you got to get right back up tomorrow to grind again. It may not. That may just be the luck of the draw at the time. It may not be they're hiding from anything. It may be they're trying to create something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which
Mm-hmm.
could lead them not to be home as much or not have that the will or maybe even the wanting to have sex because they're doing so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know one thing when I tell couples that they have to when they have these kinds of lifestyles where they're both busy, you have to schedule sex. They're like, what? That's so corny.
Wow,
No,
wow.
no. This
Mhm.
in some instances, this is what you have to do.
Mhm.
It
And that's
does sound,
but that's actually very
it,
healthy there because they're making time for it, right? Even
yes.
though that's I mean, it doesn't sound ideal like you kind of said, but it's a way of getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and I take it a step further because I'll say to add, like, have it as a community calendar that's maybe in the kitchen as a community room, that you
Mm-hmm.
also have like your self-care. If
Mm-hmm.
you choose to put bills on there, or you choose to put like special projects when you may be traveling, or like have like an event for your project or business that you're working on, like you could put all of that there, because then that way as a partner I now know how to step in or step back or to the side to support you, but then I also know when our time is. So like if you're grinding Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is our time, I see that in advance and I know how to support you better.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if I don't know that and you just rolling, then that creates the division and the separation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Very true. So as lame as it may sound,
Mhm.
until you are in a place where it can be more spontaneous, you need to plan it.
Right, right. And it yeah. I just said that to a couple the other day. And they was like, we gotta plan it right now because yes, we need it to happen. We need it to have more frequency. And if you do these things and at the close of your day you kind of like, if you're a praying in family or couple, then you choose to pray together
Mm-hmm.
before you wind down the day. But how about checking with your partner to see what their wins are? What are your wins for the
Mm-hmm.
day? We often look at what didn't work. What are your wins?
Right. Yes. Yes.
And in talking about
Yes.
what your wins are, it just draws you guys closer together in the essence
Mm-hmm.
of, okay, I know what my babe's wins were. I know, how we're gonna connect if faith is a big part of our relationship. And at least it's one point in the day that I know it's just about us. No technology, no TV, we just kind of checking in. And that could be a
Mm-hmm.
5 minute or 30 minute. It's up to however you
Yes.
guys
Yes.
set. And I'm not saying 30 minute is the longest. I'm just giving
Right.
you
Right.
like,
Yes. I like to use GLAD,
you like
the
I get good.
acronym. I like to
Oh,
use the
glad.
acronym GLAD. Yes,
Okay.
the GLAD method.
Okay.
You talk about something that you are grateful for,
Hmm.
something that you learned,
Hmm.
something that you accomplished that day, and something that delighted you.
Hmm.
Mhm. And
Okay.
it's also a way to uh and get spark up some intimacy,
Hmm.
where you're teaching your partner some things about you,
Hmm.
you know, making that connection, which also heightens sexual experiences.
Exactly. And it becomes the new couple's lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
on how it is that they approach communicating with their partner, connecting, and just kind of staying on the same page, with that
Mm-hmm.
balance. Just kind of like, it's like almost unapologetically.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Ruth says she's like your idea, Dot.
Oh, okay.
And the thing that's always interesting with couples is that is as the therapist clinician working with you, I'm not saying that you both gotta go to bed at the same time. So let me be clear
Right.
on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that when one partner is going to bed, that means we gotta go
It's
to
all
bed
day
now
time.
because we're
Yeah.
gonna do this ritual. I'm not suggesting that. You know that your partner go to bed at 9:30 and the other one go to bed at 1 a.m. Just make sure that you have that moment before the partner that goes to bed earlier. So then again, just creating that connection and connectivity that
Mm-hmm.
then turns into the lifestyle for you all as a couple and as a family.
Yes, for sure. Yes. And there are ways to make it work because I'm sure that person that goes to bed at 1 will say, "Oh, they go to bed too early, so
Mhm.
we don't have time to do any of that." Well,
Mhm.
yeah,
Gotcha.
you could do it before they go to bed,
Right. And you could do
Eight,
it.
right?
yeah,
You do it.
8:30 going down. Get ready.
Yes,
Ha ha.
Go on
It's
the
coming.
schedule.
yes,
Dick on the
yes.
way. Dick is on the way.
Mhm.
Set your alarm clock.
Well, if
Yes.
you know to be more careful, you know, that the ambiance, whatever the ambiance needs to be, and then therefore your lifestyle is being improved because you now have something in place that you guys have consistently agreed to implement and do to activate that higher level of a sexual life.
Mhm. 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 Mm.
That was a
Yes.
deep that last was a
Right.
deep
Hey, listen, I got hot over here. I was like, wait a minute. What is what is going on over there?
She like, what time is it? We might need to
Right.
wrap this up because
Right. I think we was on a we might have invaded a scheduled time. That's what I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
oh goodness.
Mm.
Thanks,
I
July.
was I was reading an article.
When
It
you
was an
did that,
old article. No, yes, it just came. It just came back to my
mm,
mind where
uh-huh,
they talked about unhealthy lifestyle choices associated with sexual dysfunction for
mm,
men,
mm-hmm,
Okay.
and they talked about the things that we were talking about. Alcohol, the weight, physical inactivity,
mm-hmm.
smoking, drugs. But it just, it just made me think about the weight issue when I when I saw that. I'm like, because it could come from the other side. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have
Right.
to be the
The
woman that
stomach,
gained a lot of weight. It
that
could be the man.
stomach.
Right.
Yes, yes, it could be the
But
man that gained a lot of weight.
maybe he has problems. Maybe he has some issues that are leading to his gain.
In the stomach only though.
Right. And since he's having these issues, you guys should just be patient with him.
We should. We should.
I ain't even going front. I know that there's somewhat of a double standard there.
Right. Come on, Doc. There we go. Let's talk about it. He get no reprieve. The man gets no
Yeah, I know
reprieve in
that
your
there's
thing.
some of a double
I
standard, but
mean,
but
back
you
in
know
the
what?
day, I was
I
able to
I
get a
I know some
straddle.
women who like that body type, so I'm not,
Right. Right.
mhm,
Right.
But
yeah.
when you get the stomach, I can't straddle the same way that I was able to straddle when you ain't had a stomach. You had
Mm, mm.
he just looked like he did. But I'm like, that's a whole cluster of medical issues that
Yeah.
exist for the weight to just be concentrated in that one area.
Mm-hmm. You talking about heart disease, diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
high blood pressure.
So I mean that's for anybody that is that way. So it should be the same on both sides.
Daryl, we didn't say that it wasn't.
No. So when we talked about it earlier, we definitely were more defense of whatever. We weren't. We made a lot of excuses for whatever.
It
That's all
wasn't
I'm saying.
excuses. It was not excuses. It was not excuses. It was showing the layers of the intersection.
So
Yes.
we
You
let's
must
let's
call it
let's
layers.
let's
Yeah.
call it, but it's layers on both sides.
It is layers on both sides,
Yes.
but
Okay,
that
Yes.
made
okay,
tired. Like,
got you.
you want me to still climb on top? Like, I gotta get past and lift up the
Somebody got to do it. You want, hey, you want to be on top or you want to be smothered? Pick a choice. You got to make a decision.
Mm, mm, mm.
You know what I mean? Make a decision.
well,
Wow.
So, and that
thankfully
that
I
could
don't
definitely
have
affect you. Like you said, that could affect your success. Like you said as well, like making that decision. Like I don't feel like doing this. You know.
we gotta do it from the side. That way we won't see
Yeah, but what if he got he got to pick his belly up and all that? That's a lot to it. Like never mind, we're gonna go
Uh,
slow.
it. Gotta get a kickstand. Oh God. I know I'm out of pocket with that.
Wow.
Oh God.
That's
I couldn't resist the kickstand. I apologize.
right. We got
Jaja,
no
we can
chip.
do both sides because you know, I already talked about being entered in different ways. So like, we
Whoa.
could do, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I Daryl,
I,
did
don't-
we just meet?
I know, but I not you. We talking about other people, not you.
Not me. Yeah, we not talking
Yeah.
about me, but I'm like your response, like, did we just meet? I should have kept my other shirt on today. Probably would have been perfect.
Oh man.
Wow.
So it's important to, just really be honest because lifestyles do change in a matter of a month, 6 months, a year. And if you're together with somebody over seasons of life, like you just kind of really got to stay checked in, and being present not only with what your lifestyle habits are, but like really looking at the impact and influence on with other people because you you can stop the manifestation of it going left and being a negative response between you and whoever your partner is.
And get comfortable talking about sex. I mean, people do it, but there are a lot of people who are not comfortable talking about it.
Right.
Saying those words is very unnerving for some people.
Right.
And that shame comes from, oh God. I'm sorry, I just thought about how I was getting ready to say this, and I'm gonna just say it now that I'm here. It comes from like the values that people have that are generally from their faith source. Their source of faith and how it is. It's like definitely Jaja. It's like it's taboo, but everything in this world is generated around the definitions of sex. I mean, from monuments
Right.
to
Right.
decision making that we do, like everything is connected to sex, but yet we run away from that conversation every time we can. And you wonder why your money ain't right. You better renegotiate that sex bag.
That's right. Use those words. Use your words.
You just wake up. Good morning, sex.
Right.
Good afternoon, sex. And not feeling like, oh my God, the room gotta get quiet. No.
The room gotta get quiet for what?
Because if you say the word sex.
Right.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's just like saying that we about to have a vegan meal. Like I said to someone yesterday, I said, I see you've been in Atlanta. Did you try? And I mentioned a vegan restaurant. I ain't vegan. I ain't eat. It was like I cursed at her. I said, I'm not vegan either. However, the food was really, really good.
Right.
Like I wouldn't have known that I was at a vegan restaurant other than the name of the restaurant and the fact that somebody told me. I said, because I tore the food up like it was the regular food. And it is regular food, but but definitely we're shameful our culture like kind of dictates like what we could talk about and what we can't. And we didn't have an experience of anybody just openly talking about sex.
Right.
True.
Right.
Very true.
I mean, Salt and Pepper tried to get us to talk about sex, but nobody listens.
And they tried to ban that song.
Right.
But then listen to the songs that we listen to now.
Ain't nothing but sex.
Man.
I mean,
there is no innuendo anymore.
Right, we did all innuendos.
Yeah.
Like the juicy fruit gum, I thought they was talking about juicy fruit gum. As an adult, I know why my mom was like, you need to stop singing that song. I was like, yellow juicy fruit. You're right, Mom. You're right.
Yeah. Definitely a lot different these days. They tell you it's a tutorial what you gotta do. They tell you, turn it over, put your finger in the butt, do this, do that. Of course, like put your finger in the butt. Wow, this is interesting. So it's crazy.
Now they tell you do donuts on the D.
Right.
Spell my face, spell my name. Spell my name.
Right.
Wait, what? I didn't know
right. Yes, Ruth, the juicy fruit gum. I ain't know. Yeah, the Mary Jane girls. Yeah. First of all, Mary Jane is cold.
Didn't Rick James name them?
Yes, but
Mary Jane girls.
Right, but Mary Jane is code for marijuana.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So
yeah.
So you would think that with the way things have changed, that people would be more comfortable talking about sex, but they still aren't. At least not to their partners.
Right. Which is who they should be talking to. And it makes me think about one of the birthday stops that I had, that after a like the DJ was really like mixing the music up, right? And so like the party music, the songs that had everybody growing or like grooving, I guess were the songs for the women. And then he said, okay, gentlemen, I got you. And it was just like, we angry all of a sudden. Like, why are we so angry? And it's not necessarily that we was angry, but the music tone like shifted. Oh God, here we go with them. The music and angry tone kind of like shifted in a sense where it was just
like, what were they playing?
I can't remember like in the moment, but like we was grooving when
they start playing that like more of that hardcore thug music. Like when they put the guy stuff on, uses that real hardcore, the stuff they go.
Don't stop, pop that, like, shake that.
No, we was grooving to that. That's the groove song.
Like trap, like kind of like trap music.
Yes.
More of the gangster rap, like that hardcore.
Okay.
That people like, that
the gentleman was rocking to. The women weren't really rocking to that in the spot.
Okay.
The guys out there doing their thing, yeah. And so that set is a lot more, like you said, the girls go sit down because they don't want to get pushed. That's when you jumping around and doing the crazy stuff.
Right.
Interesting.
It was interesting because then when that set was over, then it went back to the grooving and party, like the down for what, like we was all like the Wiz Kid, and we was grooving again. But that moment, I was like, okay, I wish I wasn't a therapist to make this observation. I'm supposed to be out here celebrating. Like,
everybody gotta celebrate, Mary. Don't shut them out. The thugs gotta have they, thug.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, where am I at again? Why? Oh, right. The drink specials. Right.
Wow.
Right. So, Daryl, did you want to talk about your slanging and banging, or are we gonna just let that ride?
I can't remember where slanging and banging came from.
That's what we do.
That was from his overindulgence in the green tea that night.
Right.
Had his blood sugar all up.
Oh man. all, you said the sugar up, all up. And I meant to mention this in the current events or whatever, but I heard on Heart and Soul Radio with Cayman Kelly. I know we usually don't name stuff. I'm sorry. He was sharing a health fact regarding people usually snack and have ice cream at bedtime. And that should be not what we're doing, because the secret in, or one of the challenges with ice cream, is that it has a lot of sugar. So when you have it at night, it ends up spiking your sugar overnight and spiking your blood pressure overnight. That really impacts your health overall, because all because of your 1 or 2, and I'm being nice, ice cream scoops that you have at bedtime. And it says it also wakes you up in the middle of the night, so it disrupts your sleep as well.
Okay. Okay.
I was like,
so I can see how that, if you did that every night, I can see how that could start to affect your sex life.
Absolutely. Would you like to explore that?
Wait, I missed what we explored. I heard ice cream and exploring.
Well, we can explore it that way too, but you just gotta be mindful of your intake, because it is a lot of sugar in it. And you don't want to spike your blood sugar and stuff like that in the blood flow.
Okay, I can see that. Yes.
I'm
so glad I don't.
For men.
Yes, exactly. I think I'm just really good. I don't have a sweet tooth at all. I told you last time, like I'm a savory person and a salty person.
You know what, Daryl?
I didn't say anything.
Yes, you said a lot with your.
If I want a snack, I want it to be salty.
Coco-licious in the house.
You know what? I just. Oh gosh.
Yeah, you took us there.
I just set myself up.
You did.
You did.
I just set myself up.
You did. You walked right into that yellow road.
I did.
And you thought you was going good, like, because you was like, I don't eat sweets.
Right.
Black erotica book coming soon. Oh man. So
right, Josh, all right.
Oh man.
I should have known. Why I didn't catch it fast enough. I didn't catch it fast enough.
Yeah, you wasn't on your toes with that one.
I was not.
So is there anything else we should cover in this whole lifestyle